Welcome, everyone, to Real Estate on the Up, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes of the real estate world in Orlando. I'm your host, Kyle Madoran, and on this show, we're all about pulling back the curtain with the unfiltered truth about real estate. We're not just here to sell houses. We're here to provide concierge-style service because everyone loves being treated like a VIP. This podcast is your go-to resource for transparency, integrity, and the knowledge you need to make smarter real estate decisions. Whether you're a seasoned investor or a first-time homebuyer, we've got you covered. So buckle up and get ready to move up in the world of real estate. It's time for Real Estate on the Up. Karlene Grimes is the CEO of the Grimes Group, which is a real estate team powered by Keller Williams Advantage 3 Realty. Originally from New York, Carleen and her family relocated to the Sunshine State more than 17 years ago and made Orlando their new home, which is right about the time we first met. She's a mother of 4 and draws heavily on her love of family to provide empathy and top-notch service to her customers. Carleen's celebrating 20 years in the real estate business. So let's bring her on and congratulate her on 2 decades of success in a tough industry. Here she is, everybody, Karlene Grimes.
Oh, thank you so much. What a great introduction. When you say 20 years, it sounds a little scary. I was like, am I that old?
Isn't that crazy? I know. It's hard to think. My son just graduated from high school. It's hard for me to believe. I know.
Oh my gosh. Time flies.
It really does. It really does. So I wanted to bring you on today because you are so professional and so good at what you do, and your perspective of the business is great, the passion you bring to it. So I wanted to start off and maybe see if you could share a little bit about your journey, what inspired you to become a broker associate and get into real estate.
Okay. Wow. My journey, like you said, goes back 20 years. It's so funny. I was shopping for a home. Both me and my husband, we were shopping for a home, a primary home. We originally had purchased an investment property and we had an investor broker, but he was a different dynamic. He was an investment broker or investor real estate agent. And now we were emotionally shopping for a home. And that was back in New York. And I could not find a realtor that had the emotional bandwidth to deal with me and what I needed for my family. And I said to myself, I can't do this. No one is listening. No one understands. They have a one-track mind, and that is to get me into a house. It doesn't matter that I told them I need a single family. They're searching for multifamilies. It doesn't matter that I said that I want to be in New Rochelle. They were looking across town. In Yonkers. So the final straw was when I had a realtor that I asked her for 1 level. I said it could possibly be 2. And she said to me, well, I'll show you a property that is perfect for you. So she shows us this 4-level home. Picture that. Me,
That's a lot of stairs.
That's a lot of stairs. 4 kids? Come on, seriously? So I was like, no. And it was like in the ghetto. And we had a sizable budget at the time. So I was like, there's no way. There's no way. So Curtis said to me, so I told my husband of now 25 years, I told him, you know what? I could do this myself. And he said, at the time I was in physical therapy. That was my occupation. He said, well, you know what? Try it, do it. Why not? So I took a class and I decided to pursue a career in real estate. And from there, it just, my passion built. At first, I did it just for kind of like us and people we knew. Then I started to expand. I wanted to do more. I wanted to learn more, hence becoming a broker associate to be top notch at what I wanted to do.
That is incredible. 20 years in, and every time I see you, you look fresh and like hungry, like you are ready to go out there and do battle for your customers, which is awesome. You obviously have a drive to do what you do. And so to be able to get up and do that every day, there's got to be something that makes you tick. So what do you believe is the most rewarding part of being a realtor here in Orlando?
Well, I believe the most rewarding part is helping families transition through their seasons, whatever that season will be. Sometimes it's a new child, sometimes it's marriage, sometimes it's my first home, even as a single person, and sometimes it's death or divorce or something like that. But like I said in the beginning, some people that I have found throughout the years don't have the emotional bandwidth to deal with that. So if I can help you deal with that emotionally, take off some of that stress, help you accomplish your goals. I know I was a young investor. So help you do that with the least possible frustration and the most understanding and knowledge in order to get you to accomplish your goals. Heck, I've passed up deals I come across all the time for the sake of my customer to have that deal in order, because I knew that if they had that deal, if they did it just one time, they can go on and do it again and again. Hence, they'll have reached their goals, have financial freedom. Because
Yeah.
that's what I think it's real estate is. It's a door, it's a vehicle for financial freedom.
Right. And you touched on something I think that's really important is that having the right partner that you're working with helps alleviate so many challenges, because in almost any real estate transaction, there's a certain number of hiccups and problems that might occur, whether they be large or small, that you need solutions to. And having a professional who understands how to get to the finish line and guide their customer through those things successfully and with the least frustration is truly important. We
Yes,
know that there
Kyle,
are
you know that.
absolutely.
You know about the partnership. I can't do it alone. And the same for you. I know throughout your career that you have partnered up with your clients. They're
Yeah.
not just people that you're working for, or you're working with them.
It's
And
a
that's what
people
makes it
business. Yeah, it is.
special.
I think so many people look at real estate maybe as a sales position. And I've said this before on the show. It's a people industry. And I think if we have people who approach it with that perspective, the professionals that are in real estate would really benefit themselves and their customers by looking at it that way and putting their customers' needs first, which you certainly do. There are challenges obviously that we face. And here in the Orlando real estate market, what are some of the key challenges that you're seeing right now and how do you overcome those things?
Okay, so the price, the price of the homes are definitely, they've increased. Okay. You know, when I think back about when I first came here to Orlando, and we could probably get a house for maybe 250,000, somewhere around there. Now our average price is well over 300. I believe it's 358. But don't quote me on that because I haven't checked my
Yeah, I
numbers.
think depending on the location, I know the metro area is so massive, so many different places. And I think it's even higher than that in some areas. You're right. Yep.
Yeah. So, with that being said, a challenge is the affordability factor here in Orlando. You know, I have people that, because I'm from New York, I have people call me from New York all the time and say, "Oh, Carly, get me one of them cheap houses down there in Florida." And I said, "Where?
Right. Yeah.
Where is it?" And I'm looking under rocks. It's not
Yeah. Let me
cheap
get back in my time machine first. Let's go back and, yeah, a few years ago it was possible. Now you're right. Prices have really come up. Yeah.
prices have really come up, and that's a challenge. Also, a big challenge that I find here is overall, as far as people and, credit is a problem, savings are a problem. You know, people have spent a lot of money during COVID days. Okay. And now we're going back and seeing where that left off. So there are some people that's struggling to get their first home. So
Right.
the first home market right now is a bit of a challenge, I must say. The up market, though, is pretty good. The market where you're moving on up, that's pretty good right now. So I got that from the Jeffersons, right? They're moving on
That's
up.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, that market is pretty good, though. There's negotiation there going on, and you can really, really get a customer great deals. On average, we're probably seeing anywhere from ten to $30,000 off of we're saving our customers through negotiation. So there's a good and a bad, but definitely a challenge would be the affordability factor. That's a problem right now. Interest rates, yeah, interest rates is a factor, but I try to educate the customer that, you definitely don't buy the rate, right? You date the rate. That
Yeah.
is true.
Rates change. Rates change. Yep.
Rates change.
We're hoping that, knock on wood here, we're hoping that in June when the Fed meets again, rates are going to come down a little bit. Let's hope. Yeah.
Please, please. But then again, when they come down, what's going to happen? Everybody's going to rush like cattle to go get a mortgage, go get approved, and things like
Right.
that. Now, the homeowners who have kept their prices steadfast at this price now says, I'm not going down. Shoot, everybody's coming out the woodworks now. So I just need to go up a little bit.
Yep.
So, yeah, we have a lot of challenges here in Orlando. However, with the right realtor, I feel that realtor will be able to navigate through
Yep.
those challenges very professionally.
Right, especially one with experience who's seen a lot of these challenges before and can draw on their own experience and all of the knowledge and education that they've had to help their customers. You mentioned that things are a little difficult right now for first-time home buyers. So what advice would you give to those buyers who are looking to get into the marketplace for the first time and buy a house?
Okay, first things first. A lot of home buyers, which I used to do, so I don't fault them, right? But I'm here to educate. They call on a listing. They say, oh, there goes my realtor. I called on a listing and that's going to be my realtor. And there's a distinct difference between a seller's agent or a seller specialist, a listing agent, as opposed to a buyer's specialist. And when I started off, I had no choice. I had to be both. Right. I had to juggle both things. And even now, sometimes there are times when I do balance that out. But a lot of times I would say to my advice to someone who's looking to purchase a property, don't just call on a sign. Do your research. Do your research. There's so much out there right now. There's Google, there's Zillow has reviews on people, you can also search through social media, though it's not always a good telltale, right? Not always. But do your research, interview that agent first, because and make sure that you guys are on the same wavelength, you're on the same page,
Right.
because that agent may not be equipped to handle the needs of you and your family. So
Right.
that's the first step. Definitely, I would tell them, make sure you do your research on a great agent like myself and my team. The other thing I would say for a first-time home buyer, there are grants out there, right? So there are grants but you have to be hooked up with the right lender, because not all lenders know about these grants, or do they want to deal with them. Okay. So the beautiful thing about us is we work with different lenders, and not to say that we're all over the place, but there are certain lenders that specialize in certain things. Now, of course, I have my go-to. Okay. My go-to girl, no matter what. But however, I would say to you that it would be in your best interest to be with a realtor that has affiliation, or not even affiliation, but it has association that knows other lenders in the business that can help them navigate. Some people have student loans, and that's stopping them from buying a home. Some people are doctors, and they would need to look into a doctor loan. Not all lenders specialize in that. Some
Carleen,
people are investors.
I think that is great advice. I love what you mentioned about researching your agent, because I think there was a lack of transparency about like how much volume agents did, how many properties they were selling, what customers thought of them in terms of reviews and that sort of thing. And we've gotten much better with that with the internet and sites that help people do that research. So you can see, for example, like on Zillow, you can see what agents are selling, like how many properties they're actually transacting. There's websites like ratemyagent.com that allow people to review ratings and things. There's a lot of other websites out there, but definitely Googling and doing research is so very important. Of course, you want to find someone who you like too. You want to work with someone who you enjoy being with. You're spending a lot of time with that person. It has to be someone that you trust. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, but the choice of finding the right agent is a really important one. And I love that you brought that up.
Yeah, it's a big decision. And, a lot of times we have realtors to get in this business, and they're there to do maybe one, two transactions for the year, and they've reached their goal. They have side jobs, this job, that job, and the third, and they just wanted that extra income. They may allow you to miss out on opportunities that you well deserve. So why not be with an agent that is doing this full time, that is passionate about their work, passionate about the people they work with and they serve, because this is a service industry. It's not a sales industry. It's a
Yeah.
service industry. So who's serving you? Who's
Are
serving
you still seeing a lot of customers relocating to Orlando from other places too?
Absolutely. It's slowed down a little bit, I have to say. I know there has been a realization that Florida is not just a vacation place. You know, you have to come and work down here too. So, so there's been a realization. However, still, we're still growing. You know, I forgot the number and don't quote me on it. And I'm not even going to say because I'm not going to embarrass myself. So I may have to look it up and Google it myself. But there are thousands of people coming to Florida every day. Florida's economy is growing. Florida's financial stability is growing. We are growing daily. Our highways are expanding. Our highways, our byways. Every time you go down the block, there's something new coming up.
Right.
You know, it's just filling up with so much activity, so much commerce. I mean, it's really growing. So Orlando is still the place. It's still a hot market. And
Definitely.
service St. Cloud. I will service Orlando, St. Cloud. You see a list of my places here on the side. So I will service those places, but I live in St. Cloud and it's a different market. It's a different market. People are coming every day. My neighbors used to be cows. Now they're actually people.
Yeah, less and less of that grazing land left these days. I mean, it's amazing the growth. And I think the number that I saw recently was that the Orlando area was growing by more than 1,500 residents a week. So it's certainly a big influx. So with the areas that you serve, I know you probably have customers who tend to look in certain places or cross shop different parts of Orlando with each other. What are some of the areas that you service most and that you recommend customers explore when they start looking in this area?
Well, thank you so much for asking that question. Actually, Central Florida is a big place because you could say Central Florida, but it's a really big place. You know, we have Orlando, but St. Cloud is like that's my hub. That's where I love to talk about St. Cloud because I'm a resident in St. Cloud, but Orlando is just a few feet away from me, right? So we have Kissimmee, we have Apopka, Lake Nona, Windermere, Claremont, all the places that I serve. And if I can't service you in those particular places, I would find a realtor that I know and trust will take care of you in order to do so. But my place is St. Cloud. And I don't know if I forgot the question there, Kyle.
That's all right. No, I think St. Cloud is definitely one of those parts of Orlando, the metro area that I think is growing most rapidly. It's amazing, especially along the Narcoossee corridor, the amount of expansion in St. Cloud. And that Sunbridge area in St. Cloud is going to be like another Lake Nona, which is phenomenal.
And you really get your bang for your buck. Okay. So you're really getting, I'd say, so much more in St. Cloud. And honestly, I'm biased, right? Traffic in Orlando can be a bit much, right? And St. Cloud is just off of that. There's so much life here in St. Cloud. And I do have to say this. I don't just shop in St. Cloud. I don't just say, okay, well, I live in St. Cloud. I know about St. Cloud. So let's just go here and let's look for properties. That's not what I do. What's important to me is, what do you like to do? Who are you? What is your lifestyle? Do you have school-age children? Is school important to you? What do you do for work? Are you a stay-at-home person? Do you want a vacation lifestyle? Or do you need something that you're going to be in the mix of downtown, you know, where you want to be next to all the action? Like, who are you? And I think it's important to find out who the customer is in order to serve them better. That's why we go to stores like, let's say, Express or other famous stores, because they know you as the customer. They know what you like, so they put it out. So I can't help you shop if I don't know who you are, what you like as a person. So I think that's the start. And then we figure out where is going to be a good fit for you and your family, or you.
Great strategy. I love asking those probing questions, learning as much as you can about the customer. The more that you learn about people, the better help we can be as agents. And, you know, you have so many years of success that, you know, you understand that personal connection and that knowledge, that personal, intimate knowledge of what motivates them So important. And you're right. By learning those things, then you can help decide what locations to suggest and what areas would really fit the type of lifestyle that they're looking for. I love it. I think that's really
Absolutely, because
smart.
one size does not fit all.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned earlier real estate investors. So in investing obviously is a little different than, working with first-time home buyers and people looking for their own residences. Any tips that you have for people looking to invest in real estate in Orlando? Because this is a hot spot for investment as well.
Yes. The biggest tip that I think that I can give anyone is don't wait. Don't wait. Don't think that the prices are going to automatically just drop and fall to the bottom. It's probably not going to happen. Okay. People have too much equity in their homes right now for that to happen at this point. I do believe that the market shifts. It's an even flow, right? It doesn't stay the same. So if you have an agent that can guide you through the even flow, the ups and downs, the keep an eye on the market for you. The biggest problem that I see a lot of investors make is they want to work with multiple agents. They say, whoever gets me the biggest deal, I'm going to go work with that agent. But what they don't realize is an agent like myself is going to put as much into you as you're going to put your trust in me.
Great point.
So if you trust me to find you the best possible deal out there and you work with me as my buyer, I'm going to make sure that all eyes and all hands are on deck when it comes to searching for a property for you. If I know you're working with 10 other agents, that may not serve either of us well.
Right.
Okay, because
right.
those agents may not be committed as well. However, they may play dirty. I don't know how they play. Okay, so I want to play fair.
Yeah. Right.
I want to go get you the deal. I want to negotiate the deal. I want to lock it in, and then that'll get you your highest point of return.
Awesome. Yeah. There's something that separates agents who excel at what they do from agents that dabble. I like that word you used earlier. They dabble in real estate. Whereas professionals, they practice this full time. This is their bread and butter, and they've dedicated years or decades of their lives to it. So looking at what you've accomplished, what motivates you to continue striving for excellence day after day, week after week, year after year in your real estate career?
What motivates me to continue to strive? I believe the crisis that I have young people. I have young people. I have young adults. I call them young people. I have young adults. Okay. And I want to teach them how you acquire wealth and how you keep it and you hold on to it and you grow it and you have it for generations to come. And like I said earlier, one of the best vehicles to do that with is through real estate. If we don't teach the young people of today how to do that, they're going to be lost. They're going to be lost. Keller Williams, there's a class that I'm part of, I teach, and it's called Quantum Leap. And the reason why I teach this class is because there's somebody coming after me. There's children. There's a whole slew of young people that are coming after me. Who is going to teach them the right way so they can teach others? So I have to stay committed to this business. I have to stay in it as long as I possibly can. Now, there are days, Kyle, you and I both know.
Oh, yeah. We've all had a few.
There are days where I'm like, that's it, I'm done. And the next day I'll wake up and with a whole new outlook, or a client will call me or send me a text message thanking me for what I've done for them in the transaction, or maybe the lemon tree that we gave them when they first moved in, they'll send a picture of that or something, or maybe the coffee cup that they're sipping on that has our name on it that said, I'm thinking of you today. Something like that. Those precious things, they definitely push, motivate, and they allow me to know that real estate is not just a job for me. it's also a ministry. It's also a ministry. I can talk about faith in real estate. I can talk about love in real estate. I can talk about all these great things that bring me joy. And, it just feels good. It just feels good. So I think that's what motivates me. It feels good. Not every day, but for the most part.
Well, if we can have more good days than bad, I think we're on the right track. Yeah.
I think so too, Kyle.
Well, that is some awesome wisdom and some great perspective from a real pro in the business. Carleen, you're amazing. If people want to get in touch with you, to ask you questions, learn more, what's the best way for them to do that?
Well, it's so easy. I answer by text, email, social media, everything that you can think of, right? So I do have a website, Karleen@kw.com, or you can just text me or call me at 321-613-8382. You can also reach me on Instagram, which is my handle is Karlene Grimes. It's very simple. And that's it. That's it. There's so much. Facebook too. I'm everywhere. I am contact me anywhere, anytime. I am ready to go. I'm ready to be your agent.
That is great. Well, Carleen, thank you so very much for your time and joining us today. It was wonderful having you on. I love your perspective. And I know if people work with agents like you, they will continue to have great success as well.
Oh, I appreciate that. That means a lot coming from you, Kyle.
My pleasure.
Means a lot. Thank you so much.
Sure thing. Thank you. And thank you everyone for joining us today. As we conclude another eye-opening episode of Real Estate on the Up, I want to express my appreciation for joining us. Thank you for being a valuable part of the Real Estate on the Up community. Your time and engagement mean the world, so make sure you subscribe and leave a review. Your real estate goals are my priority, and my team and I are here to provide the personalized attention and service that have earned us high recognition. If you have questions, need guidance, or are ready to make a move, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm just a message away. I'm Kyle Madoran, one of Rate My Agent's top 100 in the United States, signing off. Until next time, take care and make those real estate dreams a reality.